25% of all injuries involving bicycles and cars were suffered by children between the ages of 5 and 14, according to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation. Welcome to our Philadelphia Accident and Injury Google Hangout. My name is Rene. I'm here with Rand Spear, Philadelphia's car accident lawyer. Today we plan to talk about tips for cyclists to avoid crashes with motorists, which is the second half of our two-part bicycle car accident hangout series. Hey Rand, how are things going in Philadelphia today?
It's a bright sunny day, Renee. It looks really nice. I'm looking forward to the nice weekend.
Well, the beauty with these hangouts is I'm in Montreal today, and we were able to do it from anywhere in the world, I guess, if we wanted to.
You're absolutely right. I can take my laptop, go anywhere, and continue to work and do what I need to do.
Maybe you can give us some tips today so cyclists can follow that might help prevent accidents, as they sometimes seem to be all over the road, or at least that's the perception.
Well, I can tell you that we get a lot more bicycle accidents over the summertime. Understandably so, because up here it's sunny, it's warm, it's beautiful, the kids are out of school, everyone's running around having a good time. So we get a lot more bicycle cases. You know, keep in mind, as a driver, when you're on the road, recognize that the summertime, the kids are out of school, people are getting around more freely on bicycles, they want to exercise. So just be really very aware, keenly aware of your surroundings wherever you are. But I will tell you that the more that a bike follows normal traffic patterns, the safer and more predictable they become. So it's really safest when riding on the right side of the road. Some cyclists think they might be safer on the left when they can see a car coming, but that's really not the safest way to be. The left is usually a cause of car-bike crashes. Think about it. If you're riding on the left, both you and the oncoming driver must come to a complete stop to avoid a head-on collision. But when you're riding on the right side of the road, the drivers are behind you. They generally have to slow their speed, but they have 3 times as much time to react. And that's really important because you're still moving in their direction. The other thing is drivers and pedestrians about to pull out from side streets or crosswalks will be looking toward you in the direction that traffic normally comes from. So if you're really driving on the right side of the road, cars or pedestrians, they don't really look as much in that direction. We are all trained to look where cars normally come from. So you really have to be very careful. You know, try to ride on the right side of the street.
Well, it's counterintuitive. I ride a bike, and I think, yeah, being able to see the oncoming traffic, might avoid crashes, but, it makes sense what you're saying. Ride on the other side. Drivers have a better chance of adjusting their speed and, avoiding you.
It's true. Everyone is more comfortable when they can see the cars coming toward them. They feel like they'll have more of an opportunity to react and get out of the way. But it's really not the case. It's better to be on the right side of the road.
How about some tips when cyclists are coming or going through intersections? What should they do?
Well, what I try to do is you should move to correct lane position depending on which way you'll be going. Pennsylvania law requires cyclists to stop at stop signs and red lights. And they're, for the most part, prohibited from riding on the sidewalks in business districts. So you really want to respect the right-of-way of pedestrians. You shouldn't go too fast. You should base your speed on the road condition and the volume of traffic. You want to use proper hand signals when stopping or turning or making lane changes. And be extra careful when crossing intersections, because very frequently cars coming out through intersections and things of that nature are not attuned to seeing someone on a bike. So you really want to be very careful. Don't assume that a car pulling out of an intersection can see you. You want to make sure you see them and you observe what they're doing and take extra precaution.
How about riders taking over the whole lane or things like that? Are there some tips that they should avoid doing or doing?
Absolutely. I think that riders should use the whole lane and not just the edge of the street. You want to make yourself visible and predictable to other motorists. Obviously, if you're going slow and the cars are passing you by and things of that nature, you can't use the whole lane. But to the extent that you know that it's slower traffic and you can be in the middle and everyone can clearly see you there, that may be a good idea. You also have to be extra careful when, let's say, there's a passing truck or a bus, because they have a larger blind spot, excuse me, which is the rear area of the vehicle where the drivers can see the objects from their side mirrors. So you just want to be careful there. And look, at the end of the day, there's no one hard and fast rule. You have to really look at the total circumstances of where you are and what you're doing and what the road conditions are and so forth and so on. There's certain streets that no matter how much you want to drive on them or ride your bike on them, they're just really not safe. So if you're on a street or in an area that you just know is not safe, you really want to try to avoid that street. If there's a lot of parked cars, if there's a lot of in and out of traffic, if there's a lot of driveways, you just want to be extra careful. And of course, you want to avoid riding at nighttime. You want to make sure that everyone can see you. Wear brightly colored clothes. If it's dark out, do you have a light on your bike? Do you have reflectors on your bike? Do everything you can to make your bike as safe as it can. And keep in mind that, this time of year, there is a lot of road sun glare. People are driving. If the sun is very bright and shining and it's a certain time of day where it's just coming right through the windshield, it may be difficult for the driver of the motor vehicle to really see clearly everything that's around them. So just be extra cautious. Go a little slower. You never know if you're going to hit a pothole and it's going to cause you to lose control of your bike. So you don't want to be going so fast that you can't observe the conditions of the roadway and monitor your ability to stop and remain in control of your bike at all times.
Well, that's great advice, Ren. I think there's probably a good 2 months of good riding weather for cyclists in Philadelphia, and if they follow some of their tips, hopefully they'll stay safe, secure, and uninjured, which is key. If you have a case in Pennsylvania or New Jersey related to a car accident or any other accident or injury, please call Rand Spear, the accident lawyer, at 888-373-4LAW. That's the numeral 4 and the word law. Or you can always visit the firm at www.randspear.com. Again, always enjoy listening to your tips and advice on how to remain safe, Ran.
Thanks, Rene. It's great to speak with you and the audience today, and my hope is that everyone is safe and has a safe and healthy summer for what's left of the summer season.
I want to thank everyone for participating today. Invite our audience to come back and hang out next time when we'll be discussing a new and important topic. That's all for now, and goodbye. But before we go, remember, information contained in this video should not be construed as legal advice. Content is for information purposes only. Nothing contained herein shall constitute an attorney-client relationship.